What's going on, everybody? This is your boy Air from the Table of Truth, and we are doing the sports episode. And I am hosting the show today. So I got some guests of mine, so are very good friends of mine's family. We're gonna start with Jamal. What up?
Going on, and
Everything's good. Dre, what's going on?
What's going on with you, Ant?
Everything's good. And before we start, I just want to know it's ironic that both of y'all are two Jet fans.
Then
And
you got the right ones on. You got the right ones on.
I just before we even start, I just want to ask y'all how y'all feel about the Jets letting go your coach.
You can go ahead,
um,
Jamal.
okay. I'm I'm a little torn because I feel like he was set up for disaster from the get go, and I felt like letting him go, you should let go the GM as well because the GM failed him and gave him absolutely no talent to win, and the big splashes that our GM actually brought in didn't work. He overpaid Wilkerson, that didn't work. He paid Tremaine Johnson, he was a bust. All the draft picks besides Jamal Adams, bust. Christian Hackenberg, second round draft pick, bust. So to me, he should be on the chopping block as well.
I agree with that. I agree with what you said on that point. The only thing that it's bittersweet because I do like Bowles. Bowles, he didn't show any emotion. A lot of people got upset about that, but I like the way that he coached. He was good on defense personally. I do agree with the GM also being held accountable, but we always know how this works. They're gonna fire the coach first and probably give the GM another year or two to get it right. I do feel that we do need more offense. I didn't agree with the signing extension of Enunwa. The reason why is because it seems like he's been injured. And so they just did an extension on that. And I didn't agree with that. I think we need to go ahead and start getting more offensive players. There's some out there. We don't need to get really big names, but bringing a coach that's on the offensive side. And I think that we will be all right. Todd Bowles is going to end up being some defensive coordinator somewhere real soon. So he'll be back in the NFL shortly.
Now, where I disagree with you is I think the Jets made a good decision in giving a new one extension because it keeps some kind of familiar, like you keep some kind of cohesion between him and a receiver. We're not sure if we want to keep Robbie Anderson because a lot of his off the field um habits. And Anunwa is a pretty. I understand he has injury problems, and I feel like with us having 100 million, giving him 36 million, I think 20 million guaranteed. I think we're going like you said for an offensive minded coach. I think you need to start keeping some weapons in house. So I kind of agree with the nuance section.
Okay, so you do like that. The reason why, like I said, he's injured a lot, and the production is not there. To be honest with you, Robbie Anderson, he's like a deep threat, and yeah, he does have problems off the field. But every time I was turning on Sports Center or whatever I was watching, he was the one with the deep passes. I didn't really see a new one do much. I'm not saying he didn't. Um, I just feel that 36 million for someone that even though we got 100 million to spare, we can use that money in the upcoming off season and try to get some more people in here. And
Yeah,
Nuwan's a good player. He's a good player. Don't get me wrong. He's a good player, but you're getting injured all the time. And 36 million is not a lot these days, but to me, you got to show me something.
well, I think the problem with Robbie, I know Ant don't want to stay on the Jets too long, but the
Yeah, I
Yeah,
know.
problem with Robbie,
Yeah, I know. He a
the,
Jets. I mean, he a Giants fan.
right? The problem with Robbie Anderson to me is that he's a one trick pony, right?
Right.
So you're right. Every time you turn on the TV, he's going deep.
Right.
But if our offense ain't able to block to even give him a chance, you're not moving the chains, throwing it deep unless you're playing Madden all the time. So that's why I think a dude like a new one is really good because he helps move the chains. And until we get a good offensive line, we're gonna be doing a lot of quick, short passes, and that's where he's thriving. And I think we gotta look to just keep, Sam Darnold somewhat safe the next 2 years.
Yeah, I like Sam. I think Sam is the future. I honestly think between him and Lamar Jackson, who I felt should have got drafted a little bit earlier. I think those are the two good quarterbacks right there. I'm still not high on Baker Mayfield, but I think that Sam Darnold is the best quarterback I feel in the draft last year.
Well, you know what, fellas? That's a perfect segue to my one of my questions that I have. But which young quarterback you think will win a championship first? Because we all know Cleveland has made Baker Mayfield. The Jets have Donald. Baltimore has Lamar. My personal opinion, I think the person with the most upside, I think, is Donald. To me, only because he's a pocket passer, and I think he won't get. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't think he will get as injured as the other two quarterbacks, being that they're more mobile. What's your thoughts on that?
Well, if you now see for your question, I thought you were saying who would be the fastest to win the championship. So that's why initially when I look at your question, my answer was Jared Goff. Because I
Okay.
feel like the Rams now as far as upside and star potential,
Mhm.
that's two different things because you're only going to be as good as the scheme you're in and the players around you. And that's why to answer your question, Golf isn't mobile like I'm sorry, Darnold isn't mobile as Lamar, but he can throw and improvise
Right.
well and throw on the run. But he's not gonna be like what Lamar and the Ravens do is like they're the only team. They're really unique. No one else in the league does that.
But
Yeah, but see,
is that a
yeah,
formula to win a championship though?
I mean, it could be because Kaepernick did it. Jim Harbaugh, they had Kaepernick doing that, so
Right.
that could work for him. But I don't know how far you want to go back as far as young quarterbacks. Are we looking at, like you said, Jared Goff, or are
Okay,
you
let's
going just last
my
year's?
my next question would probably for the quarterback drafted, but let's just do young quarterbacks in general. Who has
Then
a more upside?
I would say Patrick Mahomes. I
It's
think he's in the
that
perfect system. I think he's in a good system. Andy Reid's very good with quarterbacks, and he knows how to hide their flaws and things of that nature. I honestly feel that Mahomes, he has a very good shot, if not this year, in the next couple of years, to actually win a championship. Golf is there too because the offense fits him, and they got a very good coaching staff. However, I think Patrick Mahomes, he has a lot of upside, and I think he may have a better weapons. I
it's funny
understand.
you say that, man, because I'm sorry, go ahead. I'm sorry, go ahead.
Oh no, I was just saying with I understand that Hunt, he was just I can't even think of the man's name, but yeah, he was just released. But outside of that, they were good in all positions.
See, when I was answering that question, I put down Mahomes, right? But the
Right.
reason why I put golf ahead of Mahomes is I feel like Andy Reid finds a way to get his team there, but not win
I
the,
was just
the
gonna
big
say
games.
that.
But do you think that now he is Mahomes? Just to ask you a question, is he better than McNabb at his stage? And how about Alex Smith at the time that there are
I'm
now?
I'm gonna say McNabb is better.
You think McNabb was better than Mahomes
Yes,
at this time in the second year? Okay.
Now,
understood.
McNabb might have been better, but Mahomes has better weapons. McNabb was all defense, and the Eagles were at their rise. So I feel like the reason why I feel like golf over Mahomes is because I feel like the Rams are going to go out there. Like if the Rams don't win this year, they'll go out and try to get Odell Beckham. I don't know if Kansas City is going to be, pulling stuff like that. I don't know.
Do you think they need Odell though? With them having Kelsey and them having Hill, I don't think that Odell actually fits in. I think Odell fits in with the Jets, but that's a discussion for another time. But I don't think that he fits in with Kansas City.
No, not Kansas City. That's my point.
I'm sorry. Okay,
I'm saying the Rams. I feel like they're going for it right now. They're like not trying to build. They're trying to win now, and they're willing to spend whatever they got to spend. They went
okay.
out. They got. So that's why I'm saying between the two of them, I feel like with Todd Gurley there, as long as he stays at the level he's playing at now, all pro level, that's going to make golf a little bit better. And with Sean McVay with his innovative offense, I feel like that's the difference between Goff and Mahomes. It's just the supporting staff.
See what I want to see y'all is with Mahomes is the playoffs. It's one thing to do this in the regular season. I cannot anoint this man yet to the Super Bowl because you still got Tom Brady in there, and people. We me and Jamal talk a lot, and he feels Brady is pretty much washed.
Mm-hmm.
I still think Brady's just holding on to the playoffs, and it's
Now,
gonna
I
be.
don't, I don't, I don't think that Tom Brady's washed. I say Eli Manning's washed. I think,
Yeah.
I think Tom Brady is declining to the point where now the Patriots are not. They're not dominant. No one's
Mm-mm.
going in there scared no more. You going into New England like we could win these games. Before it was,
Exactly.
I'm just happy to be here. The Chiefs ain't gonna be playing the Patriots just happy to be there. They're gonna feel like we could put foot in your head too. So that's why I think that little aura of the Patriots is gone right now.
But you know why I disagree on that? Because this is Belichick and Brady who have 5 titles, and there is no pressure with them going into the dance. These other teams, Mahomes and them, they don't know what they're getting themselves into. Granted, they might have home field advantage, but when you look across that field and you see Belichick and Brady, I think that pressure mounts, and I think the Patriots thrive over pressure now at this point.
Well, I think that, like Jamal said, there is no. And when I think of Belichick and Brady, 5 years ago, I'd been like, oh man, we got to really, do our thing when we get down there. Now, I don't. I think they're just as scared as the next person that they play because
Mm-hmm.
they don't have those weapons. They just lost Gordon, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Edelman is not the person that he used to be. We know Gronk is not performing like he used to be, like he used to back in the day. And the only thing they really have is a few running backs that are decent, and I give him that. But Brady, he's throwing interceptions. He a lot of incomplete passes. He's not the same quarterback as he was, and I don't expect him to be because he's been on top for so long. But he's not the same as he was 5 years ago. He's not. So I think that whoever plays them, they're gonna be like, we can go in there and win. We can go in there and win easily. They're gonna put up a fight. Don't get me wrong, because they're New England, but I believe they also know that their best shot at winning the championship was last year. After last year, after they lost last year, I think they also knew that was it. Look how happy he was when they beat Jacksonville last year. I mean, Belichick was acting like that was a Super Bowl to him because they didn't expect to win that game. So that's why I believe that they're not a threat. They're not a threat, and while a lot of people want to still say they are, but they're not.
Like I will agree, Aaron, that playoff experience is something that they have the upper notch. But you also got to remember there is pressure on Brady now because every time he plays, they're gonna say you should have kept Jimmy G. So in the back
Mm-hmm.
of his head, he knows the minute I have a bad game, I'm the one that forced Jimmy G because I could play another 4 or 5 years at this caliber of quarterback and elite style. So there is some pressure on Brady every time, especially now in the playoffs. And if you watch him play this season, and I've watched him a few times, sometimes that ball don't look like it's coming out, too well. I've seen a lot of ducks this year.
Mm-hmm. Right. You see a lot of Tim Tebow passes.
Mm-hmm.
Well, one thing is as far as his weapons is concerned, I'm not too concerned about that because the greatness of Brady is he'll make anybody better than what they are. So my biggest thing is I personally think Grunt. I think Grunt still got enough for a couple of more games to make this last run for championship. Maybe I'm wrong. I'm not gonna lie. When I watched him against the Jets, he don't look the same. But I don't know if he just holding back for the playoffs. I really don't have an answer to that.
You
Only
think
thing
they
I can tell you, like,
you think they make the AFC Championship game?
he's a Brady lover. He's gonna say yeah, no
Yeah,
matter
he's
what.
gonna say.
I'm gonna put it this way: Can if am I scared of him to go against Baltimore? No, only because I don't trust Lamar Jackson in the playoffs. Do
So,
now there's a few quarterbacks that they're young right now, so
but
I
see,
can't.
this is what I worry about with Brady. Let me rephrase that. I don't worry. This is where I think you may be underestimating. The Ravens system doesn't require Lamar to really do anything that's
Mm-hmm.
out of his control or anything that he can't do normally. They're not asking him to go play for play with Brady. They're gonna run the ball, like 30, 40 times.
You don't think Belichick is going to come up with a scheme to stop that?
I do, but here's the flip side of that. If they are able to manage the game, they don't need to score a lot of points. If they can keep Brady on the sideline, and the Ravens defense is good enough to keep them at bay, that might be enough to win a game on the road.
What's that bay? Because Brady's putting up 20.
You think?
That's going to be the key. That's going to be the key.
So is the Ravens defense better than the Steelers defense?
Yes.
Yes, it is better.
Yeah, I don't know why you hesitate on that one.
Know, right?
Because I was basing it off of when they played Pittsburgh and when they played Baltimore. How does the Patriots fail? I'm being fair. So
and that's why you was trying to because you know where I'm going. And you saw what the Steelers, just be honest, don't try to be tricky.
Yeah, I know where you're going.
And you seen what the Steelers did to the Patriots in the big game. So what do you think the Ravens are going to do to the Patriots in the big game?
Yeah, that's a good point. That's why I had to think about it because I knew you was going with that. I was like, dang, Pittsburgh pretty much played them fairly well when they played against them. So I guess that's the big thing because they're not going to shut Brady out to 10 points. You're not doing it. I don't think no defense in the AFC could shut them out.
But Pittsburgh damn near did that just a few weeks ago.
Yeah,
and their defense is not like top 5. And the Ravens' defense statistically is number 1.
Yeah.
So you can see Baltimore going into Boston and taking out Brady.
They've done it before.
And what seed are they again? They're number 4, right?
Yeah.
They're gonna have to play in Boston.
So they would end up, if they win, depends on what happens to the other game, they go to Kansas City anyway, right?
No, they go
because 1 and 4 will play each other if it works out that way.
No, because Kansas City is the highest seed. So
that's what I'm saying. So 3 and 6 play, right?
Right.
And 4 and 5 play. So if 3 wins and 4 wins, then Kansas City is going to end up playing Baltimore.
I would have to double check that because before that's the way it normally works. But I know sometimes they just bracket it so that
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? So I'm not 100% sure, but what you're saying makes sense. It should be that way. But the way I was hearing from people is if they beat the Chargers, then they're gonna go on the road to New England.
Now, do you think they can beat the Chargers?
They just beat the Chargers a few weeks ago, but
San Diego's a wild card for me.
San Diego, the problem I feel about them is on the road, they're not that good. It's going to be cold in Baltimore next week.
Yep.
I don't know about that. I think they're going to mail that game in.
It all depends on how Gordon plays. It's 2 players, Gordon and Allen. It's those two. But like Ant was saying, that's a wild card. You don't know what Phillip Rivers is going to do. It as much as I like him, it seems like he just can't get it done. He can't get it done.
Yeah, the only team
that's topic. Don't be bring that up, man, because me and Ant will go into depth about that.
Okay. Next.
All right. Now, the last thing about the playoffs, I'm going to say right now, I really like the Colts. Andrew Luck is looking like a Peyton Manning with that helmet on, man. As far as how he commands the team, it's like everybody's open. He has an offensive line. He has a receiving attack. He has a defense. I think the Colts is about to go back to how he was back in early 2000s.
So that's your sleeper pick?
That's for AFC, yeah. That team,
AFC, okay.
That team right there, I think, could beat anybody in the AFC in any place, actually, any stadium, based off of Andrew Luck's play.
I'm going to disagree with you. For me, if I had to pick a sleeper in the playoffs, it's the Ravens. For all the things that we just said. And the reason why I disagree with the Colts is I feel like they don't have enough weapons, and I haven't really seen them really battle tested this year. I feel like they're in a weaker division, and they've had a competition schedule. They had a schedule that tended to their team. I feel like the Ravens having to beat the Chargers on the road, having to go on the road to play the Saints and damn near winning. I just feel like all the things that they've been through, they've been battle tested to the point where now they got confidence that I don't know the Colts have going into the playoffs.
But the Colts was 1-5 and they battled back, so they already handled adversity pretty much the whole year.
Right, but that division is so soft
I
that
seen the Colts get smacked by the Jets. They came back, but to me, I just feel like the Colts, Andrew Luck, throwing the ball 50 times, that's cute in the regular season, but around this time of the year, you gotta be able to run the ball effectively. And I don't know if they're gonna be able to just say Andrew Luck with Ty Hilton being 5'3", go win the game for me. I don't know.
and they got Marlon Mack, and he's not a proven running back to me.
Yeah.
I think they could possibly do something if they went. That is a good sleeper pick because if they actually do something, I would be shocked. But my sleeper pick, I'm with Jamal on this one, and in the AFC, it has to be the Ravens. They almost beat Kansas City.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they almost beat Kansas. They're playing right now, and John Harbaugh said it best. He said we're playing as a team right now, and you can see it. The offense didn't show up against Cleveland, but they still found the way. That defense found the way to pull it out. I think that they're on to something down there in Baltimore. They're on to something.
And I'm telling you, I was at the game just this past week. You can see like it just feels like to me the Ravens have the same kind of aura going on right now that the Eagles had last year and that the Eagles have gotten the past couple of weeks. Not saying either one of those teams are going to the Super Bowl. You could just tell like the fans, the team, they believe. You know what I'm saying? Like maybe we don't, but like you could just tell like Terrell Suggs is like, look, I've been through this. I'm gonna show you how to get there. Lamar, you don't remember their last Super Bowl win. I'm sorry, the first one, they had Trent Dilfer as their quarterback. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
They beat us
yeah,
up. So
yeah.
they know, like, look, we don't need Lamar to make a lot of plays throwing the ball.
Who did
The
they beat in that
defense,
Super Bowl?
they beat the New York Giants.
listen, they Mac, man, that was annihilation. That was an annihilation.
It was.
I mean, shout out to Kevin Collins, shout out to Amani Tuba. I forgot, was Shockey playing? No, Shockey wasn't there yet. Shout out to my man Jesse Armstead, Michael Barrow. Shout out to all of them, man. Jim
For
Fox.
what? Losing?
To get in there, because honestly, I can honestly say the Giants have stopped the two most popular offenses in NFL history: the Minnesota Vikings with Randy Moss, and the Baltimore and the Patriots with Randy Moss. Giants beat both of them in the playoffs.
I'll give you the Patriots one, but
Yeah.
Randy Moss basically stopped the Vikings back in the days. So
They was when they had, I think they was 14-1 when he hit Culpepper, Randy Moss, Chris Carter. That offense was potent the year we beat
it
them.
was, but I'm telling you, Randy Moss was I play when I want to, man. It don't work.
Shout out to Jason Sehorn. That's my man right there. But yeah, I wanna get into a topic of football that's kind of personal, and it deals with we always the last few years we didn't seen players involved with domestic violence, and it seems to me like it's just a continuing pattern. And as much talking, as much counseling as they get, as much media attention that they get, it seems that they're always in bad situations, and it's just like there's nothing is getting to these players. So for me, I'm going to answer this question, but I'm going to mark the question is: should the NFL have a one strike rule when it comes with domestic violence? And to me, I think they should have a one strike rule. Granted, everybody is entitled for a second chance, but when it comes to business where you have females that support this business, you got kids that's watching this, the whole world is watching this, and when to me, I think this just tarnishes the brand of football worse than the concussion situation. And when you have teams that continue to support these players, eventually it's going to become a boycott, or people are just going to just have enough of it. So I want to know what's your opinion on that. Anyone
Well,
first?
mine with this one, like you said, it's a touchy situation, and what I personally believe is you're talking about somebody's livelihood. Everybody makes mistakes, And we've seen the video. What that young man did in Kansas City was not right. We have to learn to walk away from situations like that. You got to start surrounding yourself with better people, that would keep you out of those situations. We also saw what Ray Rice did. That didn't look good at all. However, and wrong is wrong. What they did was wrong. But we're talking about someone making a mistake, and you're taking everything from them that they've worked since they were what, elementary school, hard on to get to where they got to. Yes, they made a mistake, and it is wrong, and I don't condone it at all. We're taking something away from them that's affecting not just them, but their family. If that's the case, that means we should do this on every level, whether it's the NFL or just our jobs in general. It shouldn't just be because you're in the spotlight, we're going to take everything away from you. It should be if you work at the commissary, wherever it is that you're doing, they should do the same thing across the board if it's going to be like that. But to take something from somebody that they worked hard on and they just did it once, I can see, they're repeat offenders 2, 3, 4 times. Okay, fine. The drug policy, like, yeah, I understand that. But with this right here, one time, and then you got to sit there and basically beg Goodell to come back into the league, because we know this dude is not getting back in no time next year. I'd be shocked if he came in to begin this season next year. He's going to sit for a while, and that's a good punishment. But they should allow this man to come back and have another opportunity to prove himself that, okay, what I did was wrong, and I'm willing to go ahead and, make up for that. But to take it away from him altogether, no, I have to disagree with that.
I agree with Munchie's probably everything he said, because I'm a strong believer in people should get second chances. And in the instance in Kareem Hunt, I will say the people that he was around, they actually, if you watch the video, they did try to stop him. He just would not listen. So in his case, I'm going to blame it more on him than the people he was surrounded by. I feel like in the NFL, it's they're hypocritical. They're telling you on one hand that you can't do marijuana, but they have Budweiser commercials. They have all these other commercials because those people are sponsoring NFL. And the same thing goes with these domestic violence cases. They're trying to uphold an image that is not reality. With access to social media, we're seeing way more stuff that we didn't see years ago. That doesn't mean that it's an epidemic. We're just seeing it more. It's just more visual. And I feel like instead of just taking a man who made a mistake and just throwing him to the wolves, maybe understand why he did what he did. I mean, unfortunately, now we see it more often, but I don't think any of us are surprised when we do see it. And I think it's more of a national issue. It's not a sports issue. It's a national issue. So I would really be against a one strike.
Yeah.
The only reason why I'm so hard on it is because, one, these ladies are traumatized for the rest of their lives, and some ladies may not have a second chance after something so dramatic, traumatized like that. So this is not like you're smoking weed; you're literally changing another person's life. Just like Greg Hardy, he was body slamming his girl on guns and throwing her head through the toilet. It's like certain things shouldn't just be tolerant, because females probably watch more than men when it comes to NFL. Like is even to me.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't. If I wish I could have had a female in here who was bothered with the violence, but they might not want to hear you're taking somebody's livelihood. What about their livelihood? Their lives has changed forever. They're scarred forever. So I guess me putting my foot in their shoes, why is it a problem if they lose out on millions?
It's not that.
They the ones who affected my life.
Right.
But it's not bigger than that.
Yeah. Right. No, you go ahead. Go ahead, Jamal. Go ahead.
No, I was gonna say it's not necessarily about the money, and it's more so like, for instance, if that's me, right? One, I'm embarrassed as well, so that's not behavior that I want my moms to see, or any females in my family. So you got to think about that side of it too. Now, the woman, she might be scarred emotionally, but that doesn't necessarily mean that her ability to earn money is going to be stopped by something like that. In the instance of the one, and I feel like with the NFL, the reason why I would be against a one strike is that you give a person a chance to actually do, better in the community. Let them be a person who can be speaking out against this kind of stuff and bring more awareness. There's a lot of different ways you can flip it and make it somewhat positive. And it's a learning it's a learning point for both sides. And I just feel like if you just do that, one mistake. And the other thing about it is, for me, it's just really hypocritical because you got owners who don't get drug tested. You got
Mm-hmm.
owners who do domestic violence stuff, and they're
Mm-hmm.
they're the ones who are behind the money machine, and they
Mm-hmm.
don't lose anything. I just feel like it's just not fair to just single out this one person or these individuals when you got people who are making quadruple and they don't lose anything.
Yeah, I agree with that. And also, I also think they target certain individuals too. And I'm not making this a race thing.
Mm-hmm.
We did see that when Big Ben got put up on those accusations about rape and stuff like that. How
Yep.
quick was that swept under the rug? I
Real
mean,
quick.
it happened, and then that was it. No one didn't say nothing. No one still not even talking about it. But then you see something like this, and it's like you got to get rid of him. Period. They praise Ben for what he does, and they act like they forgot about it. But you say Ray Rice,
Mm-hmm.
nobody don't want you. They don't want to talk to you about it. Now you say Kareem Hunt, they don't want to talk about it. They looked at it as bad. This man got put on charges for rape, not put on charges, but accusations of rape. That's just as bad. He's in there throwing that football around every Sunday.
Yeah.
So it all depends. I think sometimes some people are just targeted. Some people
Now,
just,
I
that's
will.
why. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, no, finish. I wanted to comment on Big Ben, but go ahead.
Yeah, what I was gonna say is that just some people are targeted. I don't agree with the one strike. And I think you should be able to come back and prove yourself and show that this is not you. Now, if it is you, then of course, okay, yeah, you got to go. You
Yeah.
have to go. But other than that, yeah, I can't agree with the one strike.
I'm not trying to defend Big Ben or any of his behavior, but um, the Me Too movement wasn't as strong then as it is now, for one, and for two, what's really been biting these athletes is when they're caught on camera.
Mm-hmm.
So it's one thing when I read it, but when I actually see it and I can visualize it, that's when athletes are more prone to get thrown under the bus. So I think with Big Ben, he just got lucky. To tell you the truth, he paid off people, and I'm not going to say race doesn't play anything because it does. Because the minute they see a big violent black man hitting any woman of color, it's
He's
over.
it's over. Yeah.
How about Reuben Foster? I don't remember there being any tape on him. I could be wrong,
Now
but
remember Ruben Foster, the first time the woman came out and said she lied. Now
right.
this most recent one, they're still investigating, so
That
I don't really
right.
know.
They said she lied. Then again, I think she said that it didn't happen. Well, he's
Hmm.
not playing. And then the team caught heat. The Redskins caught heat for bringing the man back.
Hmm.
So that's what I'm saying. There was no proof that he did it. He just went off someone's word. But he still is not playing. But Ben was, and like you said, the Me Too movement wasn't as strong now. But wrong is wrong.
Right.
Wrong is wrong. And I would expect the same thing if it was a female doing it to a man. If we're talking about just one strike thing, then if you feel that a man should be gone after one strike, I think the female should be gone as well after one strike. We just can't keep it with the men because there's females out there that beat on guys all day long, and no one's
It's
not
funny.
talking about it.
It's funny you said that because I always bring this up when this conversation come up. Is that if a man hits another man, he won't be kicked out the NFL, right? You
Right.
won't. You want to treat women as equal.
Yeah.
What is the difference? And what's the definition of domestic? Does that mean if I hit a woman that I'm in a relationship with, or is it just any female? Because I could be out in a restaurant. That's not domestic violence. That's just violence. And I think with the Kareem Hunt, I thought about it more so like, is this a woman that he's involved with, or just a woman that maybe he met somewhere and they're doing something in the hotel? Like, what's there to me? There's no clear definition of domestic. So, because when I think about domestic, I think about a man and a woman who live together, or are in a relationship, and maybe this man is beating this woman constantly, and they're trying to, be against that. But I guess my thing is, if Kareem Hunt was in a bar fight, what's the difference? Other than just be the whole gender thing.
Right.
I guess the only difference is, as far as the organization standpoint, is you embarrass the shield in the organization. But you're right. What is the difference?
And my other point on that is, if they had a one strike policy, somebody like Reuben Foster would be out the NFL, and then now we find out that it wasn't even true.
Exactly.
The only reason why I say that is because it's always a repeating issue. It's like every year there's another player involved in domestic violence.
Yeah,
And
but there's always a player that gets suspended for drugs or steroids, but you don't just say kick him out the league for that. You put him in a program.
Correct.
so I guess for me, I guess it is a bias only because it's an actual person involved.
Mm.
And when it comes to females, I guess it's more sensitive to usually caught with drug. But again, it's just how I feel based off of it's always a player every year hitting a female. So
Well, I feel like
it's
when
going to hurt the brand.
It
well,
hurts the brand. Go ahead.
I have a problem more so when you say it hurts the brand, because then you're not worrying about the individual people who make that brand what it is. When someone has an alcohol problem or a substance abuse problem, at that point, why is the brand not worried about it then? Why do they? Because they can hush that up. Just like you had that Miami Dolphins coach that was doing cocaine. He ain't get necessarily kicked out the league for that or put into any kind of program.
Yeah, he left
Had that been a
quietly.
player, but that's my point. It's a double standard. It's like if you're gonna
Hmm.
start making things, it should be across the board. And that's why I just feel like, remember
That's
Jim
true.
Irsay? Jim Irsay a couple years ago when he had that DUI
Hmm.
and he got suspended, like I think maybe like 5 games or whatever. He ain't going to no program.
Mm-mm.
He's good to go. That's what I'm saying. The rules is not they're not fair.
Yep.
That's
And
true.
they didn't put them on no exempt list or anything.
Nothing.
That's true. So that's true. Now they have both of y'all is almost. You know what? It is a double standard. Players are treated different than coaches and management.
Correct.
Yeah.
But I ain't gonna lie, they should be treated differently. But you know, that's just my personal opinion.
All right. Well, we done with the NFL. Hold on. So who y'all got winning Super Bowl?
You said the
I
Jets
think
are not in it, right?
Huh?
You said the Jets are not in it, right?
Jets is not in it.
Okay.
Who's winning it this year?
Ah,
Who's going first?
you know
You
what?
got, I got to wait till next week, man.
Yeah. But if I can throw something out there, because at the beginning of the season, I was telling people, man, Chicago's going to be good. This was before Khalil Mack, and I was there. People laughed at me. I also said that Minnesota wasn't going to make the playoffs either. They wasn't that good. I think Chicago has a good shot to upset somebody in the NFC. I think that they could actually represent the NFC. The way they're playing right now, that defense reminds me of when they played Indianapolis in the Super Bowl, even though they lost. But that defense is right there. I can see them going. I'm not 100% on that. Like Jamal said, I got to wait till this weekend. We do the show again next week. I can definitely have an answer, but I can go with Chicago.
I can't go with Chicago.
You can't. My brother's a Chicago fan. I know he's probably listening. Like, I can't believe him. But I mean, looking at what they're doing, I watched them play the Rams, and I was like, wow, they actually manhandled them. And then they played Minnesota, and Minnesota's supposed to be that good, and they're just holding people down. And if they can keep people at 10, 13 points, I think they can actually do something. That's like that Ravens defense. They were winning games, 10-9 and 13-10. They do that, I think they'd be all right. Although I don't think we as NFL fans want to see Chicago go because the score would be low. We want to see the Saints versus the Chiefs. That's what we want to see, or the Rams versus the Chiefs. That's what we want to see.
I think the Bears cannot win the Super Bowl because of what you just said. They're not going to have home field. I feel like once they are out of Chicago, that's the one. They have played well on the road. I just think when you start matching up teams, if I had to pick somebody right now, I would probably say either the Eagles
Mm,
or the Saints because the Rams. I feel like if you can kind of get physical with the Rams, you have a chance. The Eagles, I feel like in their heads, they just feel like we're back. They got that swagger back, and I think that's what you need this time of the year. And the Saints, their defense to me is like up and down. It's really good, and then sometimes it's really bad.
right.
And I don't like Eli Apple. I think he's a bum. So
Look who he played for.
Yeah.
Saints.
Well, I'm gonna say the Patriots.
Surprising.
Yeah, because if we're gonna say Philly's coming in with swag, we're talking about the team that does this year in and year out. They have a bye, they get to heal up, rest. You got the best coach in NFL history, game planning as we speak, probably for every team in the AFC. And I think we'll have that team ready to go.
So where I disagree with you, Ant, is that if you watch the game when the Patriots played the Steelers,
Mm-hmm.
Gronk missed most of the season. That dude can't run. That don't get fixed in a week. Unless you take some steroids or something, you call LeBron up. Other than that, I don't know how you're gonna be ready.
Yeah.
Listen, I think Gronk need to hit up a club, get wild, go back to the old Gronk, come back next week, charged up, give your last 3 games all you have, and Brady's gonna have to improvise. And who else is?
Mm-hmm. Think about this. Belichick wanted to trade Gronk before the season even started.
Right.
Meaning, Belichick already knew this kid was finished.
Mm-hmm.
Belichick he loves his players, but he don't put nobody before the team and winning. And that's why he said, let's get Gronk out of here while we can get something for him. He knew it.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Well,
I agree with that. I think that if Belichick had if it was up to him, he would have kept Jimmy G. And I honestly think in a couple of years he would have probably had Tom Brady on the trading block. Even though it wouldn't have been a smart move, I agree with what Jamal said. He's all about winning.
Let's be smart though, Dre. Jamal G. Unfortunately, he's playing a division where why give up Brady when he could possibly win 3 more rings based off of I have a weak division. All I have to do is get a bye, play 2 home games, and I'm back in the Super Bowl for the next 3 years. Opposed to letting Brady go.
I'll answer that easily. Real easily. And you know why? He's not coaching to beat anyone in his division. He's worrying about the other teams in his division.
Exactly.
He knows that I don't have the firepower to beat those teams. You're right. He knows I'm in the playoffs every year. Without a question. But he knows his firepower, and he's like, I don't have it. That's why he went out to get Josh Gordon. Because he said, look, I don't have no one who can stretch the field. Brady is not the most mobile. Gronk is not getting double teams all the time. And Edelman is just, he's okay, but he's not no one that you're feared. So that's why I feel like he said, I need a quarterback who can make plays, and improvise. And he knew that. That's why I think I agree. I think even this year, it might have been a little bit of quarterback controversy.
Yep. Yeah, I agree with that 100%. He wanted to keep Jimmy G, but the owner was like, Brady said he can play 4 or 5 years, and we're gonna keep him. And that was the worst move he could ever did.
He's getting the Super Bowl treatment like my man Eli Manning is getting right now.
Well, hold up.
That ain't the same.
No. He's getting my man Eli's getting the Lombardi treatment. You gave me 2 parades. I cannot just say, yo, listen, you're garbage. You out of here.
They got rid of Coughlin.
Well, I didn't agree with that. That was crazy. The Giants don't never work like that. I was actually shocked that they got rid of Tom Coughlin. The way in which they did it. I don't know what happened. behind closed doors. Maybe Coughlin wanted more power. Mirrors,
no,
saying no.
And let's before we wrap up this whole football talk, let's keep it a buck. Let's keep it a buck. They got rid of Tom Coughlin because of Odell Beckham. Everybody knows. Odell Beckham wants to run around and be not held accountable, get his money, still throw the franchise under the bus until someone stepped in and said, "Look, if you don't like you saw what he did with Lil Wayne interview, they said, look, that's enough. We about to trade you to the Browns if you don't shut up. You got your money and you're still complaining. That's why Coughlin is not there because Odell did not want to be held accountable.
All right.
And you see what he did with Leonard Fournette and T.J. Yeldon. He called them out.
Oh, he called them out crazy.
Yeah, he called them out, and they couldn't have that. Like Jamal said, that they couldn't have that in New York. They had to get rid of him.
All right. When it comes to
he took some Fournette's money.
Yeah, he took. Yeah, they bought that the last year, I believe, right?
Yeah, they're not. Coughlin don't play, man. Michael Strahan would tell you that.
Yeah, Coughlin is very, very strict. And I'm not gonna lie, maybe Coughlin was too old school for these the young movement.
Where did they get you? Where did they get you?
But you gotta understand though, the Giants has never had a player like Odell as far as being a superstar, rock star, talent. Besides Lawrence Taylor, we ain't never had a person like that before.
But
so
now you got
there's no way an old school Coughlin is gonna tell Beckham, yo, man, I need you to be like Amani Toomer, man.
You think he could have did that with Saquon?
But Saquon's a different breed. He was already quiet and church mouse. That's just who his character is.
I think Odell became like that after the catch. After the catch, that elevated him to like another level, and that's it.
Giants have they have scouts. They got people who look into these players. Odell was Odell, period.
Not like that though. Not at that level.
That catch to me just displayed how talented he was. As far as his ego, he was going to be the way he was. Okay, Dre, even if he wasn't, they still had 3 years to evaluate him, and they still paid him that money. With all the nonsense.
Well, that's because they got rid of Coughlin. So at that point, before they got Saquon, if you trade Odell, you don't got nothing. And the fan base is like, we got an old quarterback. We need somebody to come to these games.
Mm-hmm.
Fans, trust me, I'm a Jet fan. Every year they got to do something to keep me at least thinking about we're going to be decent.
Right.
Sam Darnold is what saved the GM from getting fired. You know what I'm saying? So Odell Beckham, they was not going to trade him unless he really, really pressed those buttons. And that's why, because if they were going to trade him, they would have did it the year after Coughlin left. Because Coughlin told them, yo, this dude is out of control. There's nothing I can do with him. And they was like, you're right. That's why you got to go. Then they bring in another coach, McAdoo. McAdoo bench Eli. Because he like, look.
McAdoo's a joke. Yeah.
But I'm just saying, you can see the disconnect now. Shermer, he's saying, "Oh, I like Eli, but I don't know about Odell." Like, I haven't been on the same page because of Odell.
He likes Odell.
Okay,
to me,
he don't.
But to me, the pinnacle was the Peter Cocaine Gate. If that wasn't enough to trade him, nothing else will.
Well, like Jamal said, they didn't have anybody, but I guarantee you now they're shaking their head. Wishing they would have never gave him all that money because they got Saquon now. They could build around him. They could actually build around him.
Remember that clip you sent today, Ant, with Ryan Clark talking about Antonio Brown?
Mm-hmm.
And he said in that clip, Mike Wallace is a big free agent, and the Steelers said we're not going to pay him. And he said, Ryan Clark said he turned to the strength coach and said, look, if y'all give Antonio Brown money, he's going to be a problem. And I said the same thing about Odell to you a year or two ago. If y'all give Odell money, he is going to be a problem. And now the Giants have a problem.
Yep.
Listen, you got to take along the baggage with the talent. They did it with Randy Moss. They did it with T.O. And all of them went to Canton, Ohio, and everybody loved him.
You can't compare him to
Why not?
No.
Why not?
To who? You said? Did you say which ones you say again? T.O. and Randy Moss?
Yes.
You can't compare him to them yet. Not to Randy Moss. You can't compare him to them.
I'm not comparing stats. I'm comparing
why
as
you
far.
compare them?
Why not?
Because Odell Beckham team is not winning. Those guys teams are winning.
Yep.
Until he starts winning, he's not in that class.
Nope.
He can have all the talent he wants. It's not producing W's, and that's why the Giants were hesitant to pay him. They're like, why are we gonna give this dude $100 million and we still winning 4 games a year? We might as well go spread our money somewhere else. That's what it boils down to. You keep looking at the talent. If you ain't getting no W's, that don't mean nothing.
Well, as far as the talent, the winning, it's more than just Odell. So we're going. I'm gonna end it. I'm gonna end it like this with Odell Beckham, man.
Just go to basketball, man. Just go to basketball.
The biggest thing I got with him is that he flopped in the playoffs, his first game. So after that, you got to play a humble pie until you can redeem yourself.
I don't want to comment no more because I can talk about Odell all night. Just go to basketball.
All right, now we going to basketball, and I'm gonna get to the first question. I'm gonna. You know what? Me and Jamal been arguing with this man for the last 7 months, and I'm talking about Kevin Durant. And for me, I think Kevin Durant did the most softest move. He used to be my man in OKC. You was up. You playing with Russ. You had a good center. You had a good team that was built around him.
Matter of fact, and don't go there. Just because you kind of tell on yourself. Just answer the question.
Okay. Would Kevin Durant legacy be tarnished if he keeps going to super teams? Now, if he leaves Golden State and decides to go play with LeBron or another 2 superstars, with all the time that he has, would that be overshadowed by a simple fact that he was never that dude that carried his team to the promised land?
And can you answer your question? I want you to answer the question first. Will Kevin Durant's career be tarnished if he joins the super team? What do you say? Yes or no?
I'm going to say it's already tarnished somewhat now, only because you played on the Golden State Warriors, which one beat you. Number 2 already has an MVP that won the championship. That didn't really need you. You jumped on their shit. So to me, with all
LeBron James tarnished you?
LeBron is different. I'll tell you why it's different. I'll tell you why it's different. Because LeBron never went to a super team. They want to play with. No matter where LeBron goes, they're going to the finals.
He did go to a super team, though. He made a super team.
He took Cleveland Cavaliers this year, the ones 5, 6, 7 years ago, to a championship team. Durant has never done that. So it's a difference.
And you're getting off topic. Stay on the topic.
You brought LeBron in, but let's go back to Kevin Durant.
No, I want you to stay with LeBron because you're saying that Kevin Durant's career would be tarnished if he goes to another super team, right?
It will have an asterisk where we could put him in the top 5 of all time. I would have a hard time putting him in there.
LeBron James is the godfather of this. He started it.
Exactly.
Kevin Durant said years ago he would never do that. But then once he seen LeBron did it and people were cool with it, when LeBron went to Miami, they had the top 7 players in the NBA on the same team with him, Chris Bosh. Maybe Chris Bosh is top 10 easily.
Chris Bosh
at that time,
and Chris Bosh was one of the best players in the NBA, my man. Go back, and you got D Wade after Kobe Bryant, who some consider maybe a top 3 shooting guard or top 5 shooting guard of all time. So you can't say anything to him without acknowledging that.
But you can't, Jamal, because LeBron, not to cut you off, LeBron was trying his best for 8 years on Cleveland. By him playing with me on the team for all them years, and he had enough. I gave you management never gave him players around him. What did you want him to do?
If you're sticking to your question, then all that you just said doesn't matter. We're not saying was it right or wrong. We're just talking about legacies and what they did. Also, what LeBron did, he still created a super team.
But what did you say?
Kevin Durant stayed with OKC and had to deal with Russell Westbrook, who no one can coach.
Oh, come on, man!
He's right. He's right on that. I was gonna say that. Yep.
I mean, it's a fact, man. Why does everyone who leaves OKC, their career gets better? Look at Oladipo. Look at the other kid. Can't think of his name right now. I'll come back to me. James Harden.
James Harden.
Everyone's career has flourished when they have left OKC. So don't tell me that Russell Westbrook got nothing to do with that. They've gone through different coaches and they still lose the same way. With Westbrook doing some crazy offensive foul or turnover trying to win the game.
Mm-hmm.
Last year in the playoffs, what did he do? Ricky Rubio had a good game. He made it about himself. I'm gonna go out and shut him down, getting stupid fouls and losing that game and losing to Utah. That's him. He is selfish. He
Mm-hmm.
gets these triple doubles and people see the stats. But watch the games when they lose. It's usually some dumb, idiotic play that he makes because he's trying to prove that I'm the man instead of trying to win the game. So you don't think if I'm Kevin Durant and I've been dealing with that for 6, 7 years, I get tired of that knowing they're not going to trade him. What am I supposed to do?
But you go to Golden State?
So you don't like it? Let Dre go.
No. Go ahead. I'm listening.
Listen, my biggest thing, Dre, he went to a team that didn't need him.
They did need him. They needed him last year.
They needed him to be LeBron James.
Last year they needed him.
If you want to say that, so be it. Can they have they beaten LeBron without him? Yes, they had.
No, but last year they would not. I don't think they would have won without KD last year. I don't even think they would have probably made the finals.
No, I agree with you. I think they needed him more so that next year when they had lost.
Oh yeah. Once they lost, when he came in, yeah. Okay, I got you. That's what you're saying.
That was the even though they were up 3-1, they knew like we need someone who is better than LeBron offensively, not all around. And you saw the difference in that team. Go back to Game 3, and he hits that 3-pointer. Matter of fact, go to Game 1 when he got LeBron falling on the floor and dunking. That's when LeBron was like, "Wait a minute, this is too much." Like before, like Klay Thompson, Steph, I can kind of out athletic them. But KD is a 7-footer with a handle and a jump shot.
Mm-hmm.
I can't. He had no. You could tell once he became on that team, they became dominant. They were good before he got there, and I agree with you. But when they threw KD down, that ace spade, it was over. It's how many you want to win.
But that's a testament. That's the reason why I'm arguing because his greatness to me, he didn't have to go to Golden State to display that. You could have won a championship with any other average playoff team. You add him in there, their title contender. To me, if I have to name the greatest to me, I will always be the Larry Birds, the Jordans, the Magics, the Kareems. I cannot put. If he'd have won at OKC, I could throw Kevin Durant in there, and that's not a knock at him. It's just a testament to how good he is that he didn't have to make that move.
It's different eras you're comparing, so it's hard to do.
Mm-hmm.
2, all the teams that you just named were complete teams, and they had a support staff. Kareem had Magic. He had Byron Scott. Larry Bird had Dennis Johnson. He had McHale. He had the Chief.
Well, OKC had.
But what I'm saying, the team that you named, they were complete teams. Oh, all I'm saying is, if Kevin Durant left to go to anywhere else than Golden State, he would not have enough to beat Golden State. He would not be in the final. So really, go ahead.
Unless he would have went to Cleveland with LeBron there, then that would have been. He would have had a shot then.
Right. I agree. I don't think there's any team that year he goes to on the Western Conference and they're going to beat Golden State unless he went to maybe Houston or something.
Yeah.
But when you say complete team, he had a $6 million a year in Harden. Granted, Harden wasn't what the player he was now, but he was a $6 million.
Yeah, they were babies then.
Yeah.
They was babies, but he still won $6 million a year.
But he was young. They were young.
And if he would have stayed the course of OKC, even with Russ, I think that team would have been a powerhouse in the West for at least.
Yeah, but they got rid of Harden. Harden didn't want to leave. They got rid of him.
Right. They didn't want to pay him that $7 million.
Exactly. They got rid of him. I think that his time. I don't think that. Go ahead, Jamal. Go ahead.
No, I was gonna say that they just got rid of him for Ibaka.
Yeah. I think that it's not tarnished. I think KD, he's my favorite player. He's been that when he was with Seattle, when they used to play up in there. KD is that good. I honestly think he's the man on Golden State. I think that's his team, even though people say it's
No,
still
that's
yes.
Curry
Even though
team, Dre.
even though they say it's Curry's team, even I think Steph Curry knows that that's KD's team. That's
Mm-mm.
KD's team. I'm telling you, that's me. That's me personally. I mean, it's my opinion. I think that if he leaves, that team is not the same. If Clay
How can you
leaves,
say that? They won a ring without him before.
they won one and then they lost when he like Jamal. When he came there, that was it. You couldn't beat him. But I do know for a fact if he was not there, if he would not have came back last year and played with them, they would not have won. They would not have won. They would not have won. That man is one of the, to me personally, are you talking about top 5 in the league now or top 5 ever?
Well, what you got him as ever right now?
Or top 5 ever?
As far as his position. As far as his position.
Position?
Yeah.
Then I could probably give it to, but that's for another time because we're going about that all day. But I think top 5 in the league now, yeah.
Well, I disagree with you in that I think the Golden State, if they made it to the finals, I don't know if they beat Houston without Kevin Durant, but let's just say they beat Houston and it's the Cleveland Cavaliers.
Mm-hmm.
I think Golden State beats that Cavaliers team with no Kyrie. I think the season before when they beat Kyrie and company, I don't think they beat that team without Kevin Durant. As far as it being his team, I don't necessarily agree with that. I feel like Golden State is, if you take Curry off Golden State, they're still going to win. But I think Curry's the engine. I just think in the finals and the playoffs, you need Kevin Durant because when the game slows down and it's a half-court set, he can get you a bucket from anywhere on the court. And Curry is more so, if he's off, he's not going to be as dominant as a KD.
But as fans, okay, yeah, we watch the regular season, but we care about the playoffs. So if he's showing up in the playoffs, that's all we care about. That's all we care. I just personally think that is his team. If they look what happened with him and Draymond, they sat Draymond down quick when he was talking trash because they don't want KD to be upset because they want to keep him there. They want to keep him there as long as possible. There's a possibility he leaves after this year.
Yeah. That's different though. I guarantee you, if that was Steph Curry, it would have been a different story.
I think that they would have talked to both of them, but I think when it comes, yeah, of course they don't want to lose neither of those. That right there is 1A, 1B. But anybody outside of Curry, Klay Thompson, any of them other ones, they're gone if they do the wrong thing. I don't think that.
I think at the end of the day, Draymond Green is a glorified hustle man.
I believe. Yep, I agree.
And what he brings to that team, they could get cheaper, and they know that.
Mm-hmm.
But what Klay does, you just can't get that anywhere. So I think
he wants to leave anyway, though. I think Klay wants to leave.
I think Clay's getting held back, if you ask me honestly.
Yeah, I think he wants to leave. I think he's ready to leave.
I just think when I say tarnish, I'm not taking nothing away from his skill set and what he can do. It's just the fact that he's so good. He's so good. You could put an organization on his back, and you carry us to a championship.
But why?
So you jumping because.
Why?
Because you know why? Because it gives you a legacy like the rest of the greats, and that was my point.
See, that era is over with, though. That's not happening.
It don't matter about an era. A legacy is a legacy. A great's a great.
His legacy is to me. His legacy is still the same. He won, like you said. LeBron's winning, and I like LeBron too. He's winning. No one's not saying nothing about LeBron. He's winning.
LeBron ain't going nobody's super team. He put that together.
That's a super team, though.
You take LeBron out of Miami, they're not winning no championship with Chris Brock and Dwayne Wade.
But he went there, though. But he went there and knowing that the other one was coming, so that was a super team. He did that.
Chris Bosh ain't go.
I think what you're failing to realize too, Aaron, what you're talking about. Think about Kevin Garnett.
Mm-hmm.
He'll tell you in a heartbeat, yo, I should have left Minnesota probably 3 years prior. Because he was stuck in that mentality of, I got to build his legacy. Most people remember Kevin Garnett now, what he did with Boston when he teamed up with Ray Allen.
That's a fact. That's true.
Yep.
That's true.
That's what I'm saying. So LeBron, of course I wasn't there, but supposedly when he spoke to Anthony Davis, that's what he told him. Like, yo, you want to waste your best years out here in New Orleans and lose and nobody come out here. So what you're bashing Kevin Durant for doing, everybody else is doing.
Mm-hmm.
It's just that him and LeBron were such great players, people don't like it, but everybody's doing it. Everybody, like even Porzingis. That's why he was like, "Yo, I want to stay here, but yo, if I ain't gonna be winning, I'm out of here." That's what it is.
I get what you're saying, but I guess it's just the move if you want to a team that already just beat you in the offs, game 7, battling and already won a championship the year before, and then you go ahead and you jump on that team.
I don't care. It don't bother me.
It's totally unorthodox, but at the end of the day, if you leave your job, you want a better opportunity. You're not gonna go take another job just to say, "Well, I got one." If it's not better than where I'm at, I might as well stay where I'm at. That's all he did. He made a bet. He committed himself.
So if Sam Donald in the next 4 years now decided to leave the Jets and go to Boston, you want to be tight?
He went to New England?
Yeah.
I mean, he got to do what he got to do. But
yeah, okay.
But yeah, he got to do what he got to do. But that's not gonna happen. That's not gonna happen. He gonna get the money that he's gonna get his money. He's not going to New England. By then, Belichick's not gonna be coaching there. Probably he's gonna probably move on somewhere else. He's not going to New England. Don't even talk about that, Ant.
And it's just a question.
He's at the same caliber. He ain't the same caliber like of Kevin Durant in his sport either. So I can't. That's not like a good analogy. A good one-on-one. Most quarterbacks, they usually, if they're franchise, they stay with their team until their team kicks them out.
Just a question. If Donald becomes a Pro Bowl the next 4 years, and he say, you know what, I'm not going to pick up that option. I'm going to New England. Guarantee you, there'll be a lot of haters out there.
Yeah, but when's the last time a quarterback who was of that stature left his team?
When was the last time somebody is Kevin Durant caliber left a championship team already? Don't happen.
LeBron
didn't do that. LeBron did not do that.
He did leave.
He left.
They don't in the NFL. Quarterbacks don't just get up and go to another team. Once they're comfortable where they are and they've made their bones there, they don't leave unless the franchise is not paying them what they want. And if you're a franchise quarterback, you don't even got to be a franchise quarterback to get paid anymore. So if you're a franchise quarterback, it goes without saying. Like Aaron Rodgers should have left the Packers like 3 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
They don't. It just doesn't happen.
You can't leave Green Bay. That doesn't happen. You can't do that. All right. So again, I'm not knocking his talent. I love Durant, but that move to Golden State got me tight. But now my next question, basketball, is what bottom team future is looking bright as far as Atlanta, Knicks, Magic, Phoenix, teams that are.
I got two teams. And I will preface my argument by saying I am a Knicks fan.
Me too.
So,
me too.
My two teams, because I couldn't pick one, are the Mavericks and the Knicks for two different reasons. I feel like the Mavericks, I'll start with them, they got a potential franchise player in Doncic, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then they drafted Dennis Smith Jr., who's also a good player that they're thinking about moving. If you can move Dennis Smith because you feel like he's taken away from Doncic, you're going to get back some assets. They're like the worst team in the West, so they're going to have a high draft pick. They have a proven coach. That other players will come there, and I feel like you got Dirk mentoring Luke on how to be a cornerstone franchise player, and I think a lot of players in the league like Doncic. So that's why I got the Mavericks. But the reason why I got the Knicks, I feel like the Knicks for once have draft picks and young assets and a coach that people respect. And they got Porzingis. So between those two teams, if I had to pick one, I'll say the Knicks.
Yeah, you, Dre?
Now, how low are we going? Because when you look at these standings, you got teams down there that are normally not at the bottom.
You can go as low as you want. It doesn't matter what team that's at the bottom, young, and future is looking bright.
Suns, I like that pickup of Ayton. I do like that. I like Booker. I just feel they're in the wrong division. That's what's holding them back. But I think that they have some upside. And I got to go with the Knicks because of the draft picks. Porzingis, I hope he stays. I think that after this season, we're going to get some more people that's going to come in, and that's going to make a difference. I didn't like the pickup of I can't pronounce the young man's name.
Moutier?
Frank.
No, not Moutier, but
Frank.
Yeah. I didn't like that pick. I honestly didn't. Well, we have him, and he's a Knicks, so I got to still support him. But I think that the Knicks is good. Also, if I could just throw in one, just because I just been watching a little bit, the Bulls. I think the Bulls are young, and I think that they actually can do something. Just give them a little bit of time.
And why do you think? Why do you say the Bulls?
I like their young talent. I like Levine over there. I like Holiday. I think he's doing good. They just have some young play, and I like marketing. I think if it's not once they start playing, they start playing good ball. They're playing all right, even though they're at the bottom. They're just young. They don't have all the pieces that they need. But I think they can be good with what they got, young player wise. I like those three.
See, the reason why I disagree with a team like the Bulls is I just think about free agents and who people like. Like Kyrie Irving came out and endorsed KP. Kevin Durant came out and endorsed KP. He's like a player that people want to play with.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like for the young teams, you need to have a franchise player that another good player will say, I don't mind going there, and then have enough young talent to support those two people. And I feel like the Bulls do have young talent, but I'm not sure that somebody during free agency is going to really consider going there. And I think that's what changes these teams when the big dominoes say, you know what, this small market team ain't work. Now I need to go somewhere to play with somebody else. And because that's become the formula that LeBron has, formulated for everyone now.
Mm-hmm.
That's what everyone's doing. So that's why I look at the coaching, I look at the organization, and all those things got to be attractive along with some kind of franchise player.
I can agree with you on that. I can definitely agree with you on that. The Porzingis thing, we thought that maybe Kyrie would come after this season, but he's made that clear that he wants to stay in Boston. I also thought that Jimmy Butler would make his move down there, but it doesn't seem like that's going to happen either. I was looking for those two. Go ahead.
Go ahead.
No, I will say. Matter of fact, I'll let you finish, and I'll go.
What I was going to say about the whole Kyrie Irving thing, and this is just my little brain, I feel like Kyrie said what he said because he wants to put the pressure on Boston, because I don't think Boston wants to give Kyrie a max contract, because they looking at, we got to pay Tatum, we just play smart, you got Hayward and Horford locked in, and they want to keep Rozier. So that means somebody got to take a cut. So I think Kyrie's mindset was, look, I'll put the pressure on them to make sure I get this max contract. And Danny Ainge don't want to lose anybody for free. He might end up still flipping Kyrie. I'm not saying to the Knicks, but maybe to somebody else next year, and then have Terry Rozier be their point guard.
That's a good point.
Yeah, that possibly could happen.
My biggest thing with the Knicks is, one, I'm excited that we have young talent. We have Knox, who right now, call me, maybe I'm being too hard, but I expected more than what I'm getting from him. I guess he's a slow learner. Maybe he's just young, and maybe next year he'll get out of this, but I expected more. But for some reason, I think all these veteran players, all stars, they say they want to come to the Knicks, and I think they just use us as a marketing ploy for other teams, because I don't know what it is, but why would you not want to play in the biggest market on earth? This is New York. Something in the organization must be so crazy that nobody wants to take a chance on the Knicks after all these years. And I'm just hoping that KP knee is good, because if he's not, I don't see where the Knicks is going. It was yeah.
I was gonna say to answer your question about the Knicks. This is the first time the Knicks house has been clean in years. Like they have picks, they're gonna have a little bit of money, and they have a young player that could be potentially an all-star. We've never had that. We've always overpaid to get a Melo, to get Amari, and when they came in, they had nothing to go with. So I think I'm not saying the Knicks are going to land a big fish, but more people will take the Knicks seriously now.
I
Like
hope so, man.
Kevin Durant didn't even want to sit down with the Knicks, and he was interviewing teams in New York. You know
Yeah,
what I'm
that was
saying?
crazy.
Well, that's because Dolan won. No one. I think people are losing respect for him.
He's
And
still there though. But
yeah,
he's still there.
and what he brought in before, and they saw how that all blew up in their face with the Phil Jackson thing, and that doesn't work. I do like the coach. I can't think of his name off the top of my head.
Fizdale.
Yeah, Fizdale. I like him. I really do like him. I think that the direction that he's trying to take the team in is going to work. It's not showing right now, but the Knicks do play hard. I've watched a few games.
Oh
They
yeah.
do play hard. Now Knox has been injured. That's the reason why you're not seeing what we expected when we saw him in the summer league. He was just high flying. He's been injured, but he's going to be good. He's going to be good. I think Knox is going to be good.
Dre, I've seen Rose. What's his name? Help me out, Jamal. The backup shooting guard. Who just got Rozier? Nah, the guy in the Knicks. He just got signed to that 2-year contract.
Oh, you're talking about kid from Arizona, Alonzo Trier.
He comes in and gives a more of an impact than Knox. And Knox is a lottery pick.
But Knox is injured. He's been injured
But
off and on. That's
before
the
the
only
injury, he wasn't. He didn't.
He was the talk in the summer league. That's all people talked about.
Oh, of course. Me and Jamal were trying to see him out there in Vegas. But when that season started, after the first month, yo, he wasn't doing nothing. I'm just gonna just be real. He didn't let no lottery pick. But that, again, it might be early.
I think a lot of that is because Alonzo, he was playing to be a Knick. He was on a 2-way contract.
Yeah.
So he had way more pressure and not much was expected from him. Kevin Knox from day one, they wanted him to be an impact player like a Jason Tatum was towards the end of his rookie campaign. Jason Tatum didn't play crazy lights out until like the end of the season, going into the playoff. People forgot early in the season he wasn't necessarily doing all that. So I have to agree with Andre in that give Knox a little time to understand the speed, understand how it is to be a pro. Those are things that he's 18 years old. It takes a little bit. And remember, Alonzo Trier is older than Kevin Knox too.
Yeah, he's more seasoned.
So he's been able to play more basketball, and he's 18, still trying to develop his game. So I'm not that. Frank is more of a disappointment than Kevin.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Frankie. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Even defensively, what's his mark? He doesn't even. He's too inconsistent with that as well.
But what I will say though, not to defend Frankie, Fizdale's rotations, because he's trying to do so much, hasn't helped him either. Because he doesn't know when he's going to play, how many minutes he's going to play, what position he's going to play. So there's a lot of things within the Knicks they need to figure out who they want to play and get rid of.
Yeah, well, as far as getting rid of, I don't like what he's doing with Kanter. I think Kanter's a bona fide all-star. If he could just start every game, and I really hope they keep him next year. I told you that before. I like Kanter as a basketball player.
Yeah, I like Kanter.
He's like a Russian Oakley. Not as tough.
I'm good. I'm good with Kanter.
You good off for Kanter?
Yeah.
Yeah, I like Kanter. I think Kanter's good.
No, don't get me wrong. I don't think Kanter's not good and a potentially all-star. But for the Knicks to land somebody, they can't pay Kanter what he's worth,
right,
and what he will get. So my thing is, flip him now at the trade deadline, because you're not going to keep him anyway. Get something for him, and that's why you see the Knicks not playing him, because they're trying to develop their talent. They already know what they got with Kanter, and he knew what he signed on for.
Well, they better trade him because he's too good. And
they don't gotta do nothing.
Yeah. Well, my final question. of the night, we've been on fit for a little bit, is about Zion Williams. Is he a
No,
franchise changing player?
No.
nope.
Yeah, I was waiting. Are you gonna? You think he's like LeBron or something? There.
Well, I think he is like a LeBron as far as one impact.
No
Look,
way, bro.
as far as impact, athletic ability, and just sheer raw talent. Because remind you, he's still young. He's going to develop. He's going to get a more polished basketball game.
You know
I
what?
think,
You know how
yeah.
many times I've said that about a player and they've never got any better than what they were? Like a lot of players don't put the time and effort. Like you know me, Kobe's my man, but
Mhm.
I would never take away the time and effort that LeBron puts into his game year
Mhm.
in, having his body condition. There's so many things that you have to do because one thing I worry about with Zion is what happens if he has an injury? I mean, the kid is 280. I mean, what happens when he has an injury? Like LeBron was all around. He came in polished. He got better with his jump shot, but I don't see. I think Zion is like a freak, but I don't see him as like someone that's gonna come in there. Like LeBron would take a 3-win team and win the Eastern Conference Finals the next year with that team.
Mm-hmm.
That's franchise changing to me.
So you don't think Zion has that capability of doing that on the franchise?
On his own, no. I
No.
think he has to be around some other good players.
And
I
what's
think
And
that
at
player,
Duke,
Dre?
one of the
I
things.
think
Go ahead.
no. Go ahead, Jamal. I'm sorry about that.
No, my bad. Real quick, I was just gonna say I think at Duke he's around like three of the best players in the country, and that's why I said he that accentuates his skills along with Coach K, and that's why I think if he was just at Duke by himself or some small school, I don't think it'll be the same.
But you don't think he's going to have good talent in the NBA? Because he's going to have better talent than what the players he's playing with now, no matter what team he's
And
on.
he's also going to be facing better talent, and whatever team he goes to next year is going to be a bad team,
Like the Knicks.
But the Knicks will have a Porzingis on your team that he can work under.
possibly. But I don't.
I just think that with talent around him, which he will have no matter what team he goes to, whether it's unless it's the Nets. Nets might be the only team he'll be disaster.
Actually, actually, the Nets are playing good basketball.
Yeah.
I don't know about that.
They. I think that I don't want to call Zion a one-trick pony, but all we see a lot is him dunking, and that's all they talk about. Dunk, 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 dunk. Then he got to develop his game a little bit more. Yeah, he's averaging close to 20 points a game.
Raw though.
He's raw. Don't get me wrong. There's been a lot of guys that came into the league that's raw, and they don't. You remember Isaiah Ryder? I mean, they called him Baby Jordan,
Yeah.
and he didn't live up to the hype. And these people were talking about this guy being like LeBron. That's the mistake that we sometimes make. We see these young kids come in, and then we're already saying that they're supposed to be like LeBron or KD, and they got to realize KD and LeBron, they developed over time. Even though LeBron was raw when he came in, he was nice. I watched him his rookie year. He's very good. He was very good. But you're not going to have that many LeBrons coming in like that. And I don't think this guy is a LeBron type character coming into the league. No.
But he can't play defense. He's very
He,
dominant on defense.
on offense, though, he just can't rely on the dunk. I'm sorry. That's me personally. I don't think he can just rely on that.
So if the Knicks had the number one pick, you don't want Zion. I mean, granted, he is playing with two other players that I'll take, but Zion to me is like a game changer to me, man. That dude is just that don't come around a lot to be that heavy and to be that athletic all in one. That's on some LeBron level to me.
I, it's freakish like LeBron, but I don't think it's at the same level as LeBron. Because LeBron came into the NBA and he was already impacting games to the point where he was able to win them. I don't think Zion is going to be able to bully everybody all day in the NBA. He's playing against kids. It's going to be grown men who don't weigh as much as him, but they're going to know how to use their weight and do different things Well, I don't think he's going to step into the league and have the impact that LeBron did. But we'll see.
Yeah, we'll see on that one. We'll see on that one.
Okay. All right, y'all. Well, this is going to wrap it up. Or we're going to have another sports episode maybe after the first playoff game. We'll go back to the playoffs and touch on that. So, this is the Table of Truth. Well, I would like to give shout out at the end of the show. So, my final word is again. I hope Seattle wins in Dallas. I hate Dallas Cowboys with a passion. I think I'm hoping Russ is back to his Houdini playing with his legs, and I just want Dallas to lose. I'm a Dallas hater. That's my final word. I hope they lose. They talk a lot. They break dance a lot in October and November, but when the real game comes, they out of here. That's my final word. That got the tape.
I'm looking for Lamar Jackson to do some more magic. I want to see that.
For me, I'm a big Andy Reid supporter, so I would love to see him or Phillip Rivers get to a Super Bowl this year more than anybody else that's playing. Because I think Phillip Rivers gets the knock because he's better than to me Eli Manning, but he don't got the silverware to actually have more people take it seriously as a conversation.
That's gonna be the next episode about Eli. I'm getting tired of this, man.
About who?
We'll continue. No. Let him get his last word.
And with Andy Reid, I believe like he's a great coach. He just has not won a Super Bowl.
Yeah, I agree with you on that. So when we doing this again?
We're gonna do this again after the first round of players is over. I'm gonna pick a date, and I know the first topic I want to get after the playoffs is quarterback legacy with Big Ben, Eli, and Rivers, and we're gonna see what's what. Come prepared because I'm coming in with stats. I'm coming in with everything.
I hear you.
I'm coming in with the whole arsenal.
So we're rating these three, just those three quarterbacks right there.
We can rate within that era he was playing in, all the quarterbacks.
How about we do that draft? That quarterback draft.
We can do that quarterback draft. I can't wait. But just I'm coming in with everything. Everything. I'm not even gonna tell you what I'm coming. I don't want to ruin it.
No, I don't want you to ruin it. I don't want you to ruin it. I just want you to show up.
I'm gonna show up. I'm gonna definitely show up because people not getting Eli. I've never seen a quarterback with 2 rings and gets knocked away.
Oh my God!
Here we go.
We're gonna say that later.
Yeah.
That's the final word. That's the final word. No more.
All right, y'all. This is Table of Truth, y'all.
All right, Jamal. Nice talking to you, man. And appreciate it.
Sure. Next week.
Next week. All right.